Gina Woodward, who's the Chief Communication Officer. She'll be giving us an update. We've got Marlo Perry from Destination New South Wales, who's going to tempt us to get to tourism. We've got Joe Larkin, who's taken on a new role. I think everybody knows Joe Larkin. Joe Larkin's taken on a new role in South East Arts. Followed up directly with another Arty type person. Lisa Mathers will talk about Lake Light. And we're going to round it off with something really exciting by Jason Gamble, who's doing something pretty exciting in town. Better you than me, I think. Right, can I start off by inviting Jamie up? You can get along if you want to.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, Jim.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone. This is the first time I've presented with my new platform. And I look after the portfolio. So within my team, I have economic development, and thank you, Sarah, for joining us tonight. Sarah's in our economic development team. Tourism and events, and we have an events officer, Nicole, who's helping the Lake Light team with their event, being the biggest regional event that we have. We also have sort of tourism within that portfolio. Linking to that, I'm on the board of Tourism Snowy Mountains. Also within the portfolio is communications, so social media, yes, the fun part. Not so fun for council. Anything to do with obviously websites, advertising and PR and communications. We also look after education in biosecurity, so mostly weeds, our biggest problem around here, and feral animals, and waste as well, so that's really the waste education department. Look after customer service across the 4 offices, Bombala, Berriedale, Jindabyne and Cooma. And we've just had a resolution with council to harmonise the office hours across the region. No effect on Jindabyne, only a small effect on Cooma, but it just means that we can actually communicate standardised hours across the whole region, which is pretty, I know it's small, but it's very exciting. And the other part of our portfolio is bushfire recovery, and that's led by Susie Diver, who used to be Beco. She's assisted by 2 assistant recovery officers. One of those looks after the south of the region, and the other one looks after the north. So we're pretty busy in that space, running lots of community recovery events. So yeah, a lot going on in the comms portfolio. Certainly an interesting part of council to be. Probably from an update perspective, I can't even tell you how many subjects I've already covered today as far as aged care and finances and lots of fun stuff. But probably the thing that I would like to talk about, and I'm not saying it to be controversial, but I just want to put this seed into your heads. We've got this amazing opportunity, and I know it's frustrating at the same time, but we've got the SAP. We've got this investment that is coming in infrastructure, access, things that will allow us to develop our tourism product, and that's what we're known for. So what I want everyone to think about is this is only going to get worse in the sense of we've got a lot of people that came here for a lifestyle change, I want to work really hard in the winter, and then I kind of want to, hang out and just cruise in the summer. We are going to be a year-round economy. Everyone's seen that in the past few weeks. There's a lot of people that are exhausted over, what happened in January. I know COVID has added to it and made it even more challenging, but I think we really need to think about how we're going to be that year-round economy. What is the mindset shift that we are going to have to do? What culture shift are we going to have to make to get ourselves into that space? Is it that some people might not want to be here anymore because they don't want to work that hard year-round? How do we attract staff? I know we've got the issue of the housing issue, and that's not just Jindabyne, it's not just our region, it's actually statewide that it's a massive issue. So please know that in the background, especially in the economic development team, we are working really hard on a whole lot of strategies with funding from the state government. I know it feels like, another policy, another strategy, but it's all things to try and build on these foundations of massive issues that our community is going to face. So know that we're there to support. We have got a lot going on, but I just want to plant it in your heads of how are we going to get to that year-round space? How are we going to be happy with being open for longer, having things available at 8 o'clock in the morning rather than 10 because we can't bother to start then. Let's think about the customer, not just what we came here for. Thanks.
I think you touched on a very important topic, and that is that our town is going to change. Businesses that have been here have worked really hard over winter to shut down. I think we're already seeing a bit of a transition. Certainly people are staying with me on my farm stay like you said quite rightly, some people may end up choosing not to do this, but that creates, I think, opportunities for other people. Gina's very approachable, so if you've got any comments, you do a great job in communication, obviously.
There's always to go, but we're trying.
But then itself personally, you're very approachable. You also send things out to organisation that matters. I've received emails from me personally. So if anybody wants to talk to Gina afterwards, you don't know her, introduce yourself, please. Tourism. There's no better person to talk to tourism than Marla Perry. I've had personal experience with her. She's a great gal. She does a wonderful job for Destination New South Wales, and she's here with a very tempting offer.
Yes. Oh, that's such a good intro. Thanks for that. So tonight I just want to talk to you about grants and funding. So there's a few opportunities that are out there right now. Unfortunately, the time frame around these are quite short. So the grants I'm talking about will close on the 31st of March or the 1st of April. So if you're interested in these, I've got a bunch of business cards, so come up and have a chat to me, or I can hand these out to you. We can start a discussion online as well. So the three grants I'd like to talk to you about. Firstly, do we have anyone who owns accommodation, hotels, has a room for rent? Okay, awesome. So the first grant is run by the New South Wales Government. It's the Hotel Energy Uplift Grant. This is for between $10,000 and $25,000 to improve the energy efficiency of a hotel or accommodation provider. So if you want to change your 1-star fridges into 5-star fridges, if you want to change your air conditioning system, get a new pool pump, all those kind of things, this is a grant that you can apply for. It closes on the 1st of April, and I can send you more details if you're interested. The two other grants are run by Destination New South Wales. So if you've got questions about these, I can always get answers as well. So if there's anything that's unclear, I can get back to you. The first one is called Refresh and Renew. This is $10,000 that we will just give you. But what you have to do for that is to show that the expectation of the visitor is here and what's being delivered is here. So if you've ever had some bad TripAdvisor reviews, this is the perfect opportunity to get something out of those. So this is, for instance, someone's gone and written, the mattress was really lumpy, or the noise from the road was a bit too much. Or it's also not just accommodation. So if you're an experience or an attraction, if you want to open up the windows or get some better lighting and seating. So it's showing that the visitor expected something here, but you can't quite deliver it based on the facilities you've got, not your staff, the facilities you've got. You can also show pictures of old, outdated furniture, and so this is what I want to improve. Or ripping up carpet so that you've got a better experience for the visitor. So it's $10,000, there's $1 million out there, so it's 100 businesses across New South Wales that will be given this money. And the last grant is called the Experience Enhancement Fund. This one is between $50,000 and $150,000. However, the expectation is that this is matched dollar for dollar. So if you're asking for $50,000, you also need to put in $50,000. If you're asking for $150,000, you also have to put in $150,000. And this one is either around an accommodation provider trying to lift your standards to 4 or 5 stars. It's about the repurposing of infrastructure. So if you've got an old shed out in the paddock and now you want to make it a B&B, this is perfect for that. And it's about creating a new experience or a new attraction that currently isn't on offer here. So if you're interested in any of those details, guidelines, all that kind of information, pick up my business card and I can start a conversation with you.
Make it worth your while to go and talk to Marlo, because she will not only give you a business card, but then she'll probably also help you go through the process. The timeline is very short. I've experienced these short timelines. The best thing you can do, if you don't want to do it now, is prepare your business plan, get your information together, because these sort of things happen on a routine basis.
Yep.
And next time it turns up, you're ready to go. Because I can tell you, trying to put together a business plan for these sort of things within a month, it's a tight deadline. So if you miss out now, start doing it for your next time. The next young lady we're going to have is Joe Duncan.
Thank you. I'm just going to show the new logo for Southeast Arts that we don't have kids coming to look at, as well as everything else. I'm just going to stand behind here. thank you very much for the opportunity today to come on and have a talk to you guys about South East Arts. Just a very, very brief background. I've lived in the Snowy Mountains, and it's also just quickly to say I actually don't know everyone here, and that's awesome because I'm loving how this community is growing and how these wonderful people are coming into town and wanting to put in and make it something year-round that we work on together. So, very brief background. As I said, 20 years living here in the Snowies. Went for that 1 week ski holiday, and still here. And so, yeah, and I've gained some strong connections in the community. I started out with Tourism Thredbo, worked there for a long time, doing many events in summer, and also helping secure the Snowy Ride back when it was secured sort of 10 years ago, or longer now. And then I went on to Lake Crackback, moving down the Alpine Way, and assisted there with marketing and running the resort, doing Kosciuszko Alpine Guided Walks, which was a big attraction back then, summer events, publicity, marketing, and then Tourism Snowy Mountains. So I was the executive officer there for nearly 4 years, and one of the major things we did there was to stop the government making it mandatory for four-wheel drives to have chains through the park, and that was a big coup back then. We also collaborated with every single operator to produce a big colourful insert going into all of the Sunday Telegraph, Sydney papers, which was a big milestone there. Myself involved in back there. Anyway, now then I went on as being a mother, a very important role for the last sort of 10 years, in and out of things. But the reason why I give you this background is just to give relevance to being qualified to speak to you guys today about South East Arts. So South East Arts is the regional development organisation for arts and culture, and encompasses Bega Valley, Eurobodalla Shire, and the Snowy Monaro. The organisation basically connects, creates, and celebrates regional culture, which is quite a vital thing for economic development. Has a lot of projects in the three shires. The main ones here are Cooma Multicultural Festival, the National Busking Competition, Lake Light Sculpture, and assisting individual artists to get off their feet and giving business advice and those sorts of things. They have just secured 6 months funding to employ a person, myself, to assist with 14 hours a week. We hope that it will go on, but 14 hours is to work with Lake Light Sculpture for a day, and then the other side is to help build those connections. And I wanted to bring this piece of paper, so I think this is really, really, really exciting. So on the Lake Light Sculpture part, it's strategic assistance, helping with post-event evaluation, surveying over the weekend, running the photographic and video photographer for the weekend, making sure that we cover all our bases on really capturing the event. We've been ringing around, and there's no beds available during next week for Jindabyne, so it's going to be a really, really busy one. But yeah, so it does go to show that it is a very, very big event, and we really need to capture it in all its glory this Easter, so that we can move on and promote it to government, to council, to operators, to look at how we're going to strategically move this event on as more of a multi-art organisation in the future. The other part, South East Arts, is basically to connect, meet with people, find out what's going on from an art and culture point of view. And one of the big things they're doing is developing a cultural tourism strategy for the whole of the South East region. To kick it off, they have commissioned tourism to TRC. If anyone knows of TRC, they're an amazing tourism planning company located here in Jindabyne, to undertake research to assess the contribution of arts and culture to the tourism and visitor economies of the region, so that we can add some value as, what is the value of art and culture in the region. My job's going to be, and also to sort of look at where is it placed, what things artsy and culturally do visitors like, how can we work together, are they an attractor, are they an adder? So my job's going to be to help gaining local data, researching individual artists, and helping get this survey out that's just been done. And the research will help establish the benchmarks for where they actually can see what opportunities there are for growth, and how it could be injected into a whole of regional tourism, cultural tourism strategy. So yes, in my conversations with artists, we offer business advice. We have an e-newsletter that everyone should subscribe to, because on that big database that goes out to, you learn about funding, and also, there's my bell, other artists, and I can actually help promote local artists here to the whole South East region through this newsletter. So I'll be just getting out there, meeting and talking with artists, and what help I can gain from you guys is to talk about the fact that this is here. It's very exciting. It's been a while since South East Arts have actually established or re-established connections here in the Snowy Monaro, and so
up until very recently, we were a pretty poor community in that sense because we weren't really doing much with the arts. We had individual artists, we had Lake Light, of course, which was a signature event, but all the individual artists. In that regards, we now have our own art gallery, which is the Jindabyne Art Gallery there on Rainbow Avenue. Who hasn't been up there?
Go till the 7th of March. We have to move out.
Guys. It's worth going there. It just represents probably only a very small segment of our artist community, but it's a great diversification of it. And certainly anybody who can help with art, with finding a location for the gallery, please come and talk to Fiona. And it's an absolutely wonderful initiative to gather our artists together and to go ahead and demonstrate them. And as a tourist venture, what a great idea. It's not perfect here every day, and tourists need something to go ahead and do when it's not nice on the hill, whether you're mountain biking or skiing. So it brings people here. Talk to Fiona. In that regards, we've got a fantastic event coming up in April. Needs no introduction, but I will with an notice.
Thank you, everybody. Yes, I'm Lisa Mathis. I'm the chairperson of Lake Light Sculpture and have been for the last 7 years. And is there anyone in this room that hasn't actually seen Lake Light Sculpture? Am I talking to the converted? Okay, so we're really excited that it's looking very promising that we will have an event this year. As you will recall, we were probably about 3 weeks from last year's event, and the Prime Minister locked us all down over Easter. So we had to roll back the whole event, and so that was a big lot of sadness to the community after the bushfires over summer. We were all really looking forward to having a wonderful event. We had a record number of artists entering, and then we had to stop and roll it all back. But anyway, we've moved forward again. We've got a great new committee. Lynn's on our committee here as well. We've got about 12 people on our committee at the moment. And we've all been beavering away since last October to get this event up and running again. Our call for entry phase for the artists, to get the artists in, to give us something to look at, closes tomorrow. And when I had a quick look before I headed here, we are well ahead of where we normally are at this point in time. So I'm really excited. We've got artists coming from Victoria. They're all a little bit worried that they may have to race back home during the event. But we've assured them that Jindabyne is a safe place to be. So anyway, we've got artists coming from as far away as Mornington Peninsula. We've got a whole lot of artists from all around New South Wales, and of course the local schools and community groups get involved, which is a really unique element about our event. And in fact, we had David Handley, which I don't know if you're aware of, the pivotal sculpture, outdoor sculpture event, Sculpture by the Sea, at Bondi and Cottesloe each year. I wish I had their budget, $1 million and 100 full-time people working on it. But he actually came to our event a couple of years ago, and he actually made the comment how nice it was to see the school students exhibiting alongside professional artists, and the joy that that gives the school children to see that their little thing that they've made at school is equally embraced by the community as a huge big professional artwork alongside it. So just to give you a big rundown of what's happening with this year's event, it will be running over the normal days during Easter, which is the opening is Good Friday, Good Friday, 8 a.m. on Good Friday, and then at 10 a.m. Unfortunately, this year we can't have because of COVID planning, we can't have the opening down at the park like we have for the last few years. We're having a restricted opening up here at Ridges, and unfortunately, because of number restrictions, we can only do it by invitation only. But we are going to get that opening ceremony and awarding of the prizes to the winning sculptors broadcast through Facebook Live, so keep an eye on our Facebook page for that. This year it's really exciting. We've received a funding from the Australian Bushfire Regional Tourism Recovery Grant to fund 3 expanded elements, and so this year we're going to be able to host an indoor sculpture event here at Ridges, and so we're actually just in the process of getting all that things built at the moment for that. We're also funding a Saturday night digital projection and twilight food festival down in Banjo Patterson Park, but again, because of COVID restrictions, we won't be having that fenced off area like we had last time. We're actually just doing takeaway only, and there's no seats. We're asking everyone to bring their own picnic blanket and to sit one picnic blanket apart from people that they don't live with. A bit like beach towels on Bondi. So please help us get those messages out to people you're speaking to and the guests. We're definitely trying to promote it through our social media and other media channels, but it really helps if you can help us get those messages out. We also will be having a special visitor this year. Rob Bast, who's Australia's foremost chainsaw sculptor, will be coming along with logs, and right in front of your eyes he'll be turning them with a chainsaw into beautiful pieces of Australian fauna. So we've even given him a challenge if he can build a corroboree frog for us, which he hasn't done before. So yeah, you'll see him turn logs into things like owls, eagles, kookaburras, other native fauna, and hopefully a corroboree frog as well. But it's quite spectacular watching him at work. So that will be running Friday, Saturday and Sunday across Easter. Rob's a typical country guy and you can't get a lot out of him. He does some beautiful artwork, but he's assured me that he'll be there most of the day, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. We also have, so we've got the small sculptures, Rob Bast, and of course the Saturday night twilight food market and digital projection onto Strzelecki Monument. So there are our three expanded elements for this year's event. The event wouldn't happen without all of the sponsors, but you know, everyone in this town is so generous, from lending us things that we need at the last minute, like staff tickets, sanitizer, and right through to our major award sponsors. We can't have an event without a really good, attractive prize pool. We're competing with other attractions over Easter, and if we don't have significant prizes, we don't get prizes. Our prize pool increased, our major prize increased to $10,000 a couple of years ago, and already competing against now $25,000 first prizes. So again, we have to keep constantly fundraising to try and compete with those events, because otherwise the others will just go elsewhere. The other thing that you can also consider helping us with is we're getting to the point where we need a lot of volunteers to help over the event, and artists will often not stay if they find it unaffordable, because they have to come a long way at their own cost, deliver their sculpture, stay over Easter, pick up their sculpture and leave again. Not all of them will win a prize, not all of them will sell a sculpture, even though we do have very high sculpture sales rates. So if you ever have a spare bed in an accommodation place or something that you can offer either a volunteer or an artist, please let us know, because that will really help us attract artists and volunteers into the town to help us out. So I think that's pretty well it, and yeah, thank you. And if you want to speak about sponsoring, sponsorships start from as little as $300 for a site stand at the event, and go right through to $500 for a site stand and advertising package in our catalogue, and right through to the major prizes. And the other thing that you'll see around town shortly is this year's flyer, which is just in the print press at the moment. But this beautiful sculpture, one of the aims of Lakeline is, if we have a surplus, we were hoping to purchase sculptures for public artworks to create a public artwork pathway through the area, and this was our latest acquisition. It's just waiting to be installed in its permanent place, but that will feature on the front of our posters, our catalogue, and this event program, which you will be able to get access to shortly. Thanks very much, everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you.
How good is that? It seems to be getting better and better every year.
Yeah.
Well done to the organising.
Is it 19? Is it 19 this year or 8?
This will be at 19.
Yeah. Wow.
20 years next year.
Yeah.
If you can get involved. So we've got a little bit from, not the main game, but certainly the business end of council. We've had a little bit of discussion from tourism and from the arts. Now what we're really well known for in this area is adventure tourism. Jason, there's your intro, buddy. Adventure tourism. Cool. You want a hand?
Sure. Bring out that battery.
Wow.
Cool. So these are my new models. I've got two. This is the Pro model. The other model is the intermediate model. It's a little bit longer. They are battery-powered foil boards. So if you've never seen a foil board before, this is it, minus the propeller at the back here. This is relatively new technology. Foils have been coming to light a lot more over the last sort of 5 years. Powered foil boards only really the last 2 years. This particular model is an Australian made model, invented. Well, it's not made in Australia. They source all of the best components they can possibly find from all over the world, assembled in Byron Bay. The guy is originally from Maryville, and he's played with foils see what we get. This is the battery. Goes in here. Connect it up. Positive, negative, and then data. The app that comes with this has an amazing amount of information. Close it up. Now you heard that buzz. Now there's a little light.
Flashing? Yeah.
You've got a little hand controller, which just goes around your wrist, Bluetooth controller. Turn that one on. So there's two ways of controlling the power or the speed of this. You've got the trigger, which you can feather. So all the way is obviously full power, and then you can control the power just using your finger a little bit. There's also, the way I ride it is throttle all the way on and use the minus plus buttons to control your speed. So you've just got a constant speed, and then you fly, literally fly across the water just by balance control. So lean back when it starts to lift to fly, and lean forward and you'll go back down onto the surface of the water. So the little doodad there. It's quiet, and it's clean, and it's amazing. I've done a fair few adventure things in my life, and this is the best I've ever done. And that's not a sales pitch, it's for real, and that's what most of the clients who I've been taking out and friends have been saying. The word amazing is the most regular thing that comes out of their mouth if they can stop laughing. I literally fell off my board the other day laughing with the clients. It was classic. I couldn't believe it was my job. So I'm taking the tools out, tours and lessons. I'm doing solo tours, so me on Pro and the other client on the other board. And so depending how the client goes, I'll teach them how to do it safely, teach them the rules, and then we'll go for a bit of a buzz around the lake. If it's a twin shed, at this stage, because I couldn't afford any more boards than this to start with, I'm out on my paddleboard, which is fine, and then the other two, the customers are just cruising around my paddleboard, and I'm instructing them. And then if they seem like they're handling it well and safely and trustworthy kind of people, I might go, just go for a buzz up towards town again, and come back, just depending on how many people are on the lake and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and that's about it. So this is the latest one. My business is Rethink Experiences. There's two sides to it, but I'm just going straight on the experience side of it. So this is the latest thing that I've got physically to offer. Hot air balloons is what I spoke about last time. Where we're at with that is June, July, August. We've got I've just secured accommodation for the pilots and crew. So they're committed to taking a balloon, another crew member, and a pilot stationed here for all the winter. With the vision of me getting my licence and a permanent balloon stationed here full time. The balloon that's coming will be 18-seater, so it's a big puppy. And when I get my licence, I'll probably shoot for 8-10-seater, just a little bit smaller, a bit more personal. To do that, can I just go for a bit longer? Four-wheel drive bus is coming hopefully in about April, and that's to go with the hot air ballooning and a few other activities that I've got coming up in the future as well. What those other ones coming up in the near future, hopefully by Easter school holidays, off-road scooters, so scooters with big chunky tyres and suspension, to be used between town, Dan Moore and Hatchery Bay. It's what I'm going to shoot for, get people out and about and seeing the lake foreshore, and also fat boy type, chopper style e-bikes, so not your mountain bike e-bikes, but I don't like competing with other people who are already doing stuff. So this is a different type, can go on sand, and you can have two lighter people on it, so that's something different as well. And that's just the beginning. So what I would say is I need your help to try and encourage people to come and try this. My wife just says that I need to stop thinking that everyone's going to be as excited about this stuff as I do, which is true. But
I'm excited.
Please,
Stuff to do.
I need people to come and try this stuff. If you think you're not coordinated enough or you're not fit enough, that's simply not true. My mum uses a walking frame, and I plan on getting her.
This chapter on.
She's water skiing. She grew up in water skiing, and she will be able to explore the lake once again on this. Just laying on it. You
Does the NDIS cover it?
Sorry?
Does the NDIS cover it?
NDIS?
Yeah.
What's that?
National
Disability assessment.
Oh,
And a grant.
right.
Are you on Airbnb experiences?
No, they actually cost,
Yes.
and they cost too much for my liking at this point. Not so
We find our guests, they get a confidence in it. I know that it's nasty sending 15% to America, but it's easy, and they just sit there, and between, I think Fiona probably tells us, between 8 and 10 o'clock at night, women sit on the couch and just start paying the next day.
Yeah.
Run me through that.
And they have their favourite platforms. They'll look at TripAdvisor, and then they'll go, oh, I saw that in my Airbnb and referred by Renata, our host, and it's the old 3 points of contact.
Yep.
So you've got your advertising, you've got TripAdvisor, you've got Airbnb, 3 points of contact. They're ready to commit.
So,
And you just get the volume up and worry about.
absolutely. Oh, and
Just a band loader, yeah.
I say this is an all-round sport. So if we're not going to New Zealand, we still get in wetsuits and booties and everything, and we go rafting, and it is fun. And there's usually full rafts, and people don't even notice the cold. And so this will still be operating. I might get heated wetsuits. I'm just tossing around what I've got budgetary-wise. If I get heated wetsuits, great. But there's really no excuse as far as small kids go. It's more of a maturity thing. As long as the person can follow instructions, and especially the safety instructions, because as you can see, they could be pretty dangerous in the wrong hands. But this is literally a sport for everyone. It's like skiing. You can go as hard as you want, as crazy as you want, or you can just cruise and just adventure in beautiful places.
My daughter's an avid snowboarder, and she said riding them was the closest thing to snowboarding in power.
And that's
It's
what
the same feeling.
that's my
Yeah.
descriptive is like. What is it like? The closest thing I can say is like an endless field of deep powder on your snowboard. You just got that beautiful, slow carving. It's something else without experiencing it. So I need you to send your kids and yourselves, and I need you to come and ride them next week, not next summer, because I can say it, but I need to come in with you.
So how can people book Chase, and how can we find you?
Call me. I've got some brochures over in my bag, and if you've got accommodation out there or a restaurant or whatever, take it so that you can show your customers. I've got brochures coming as well next week, so I'll get those out in the community as well. So.
And that's how we're going to beat the likes of Airbnb. That's how we're going to keep that 15% in the community, is by every business helping each other, every accommodation place, every other experience place, helping each other, and complementing new customers to ensure this sort of stuff stays in Jindabyne for years to come.
I'm not having a go at anyone, but it's a bit frustrating sometimes when you talk to people and they're like, oh, why isn't this in Jindabyne? Why isn't that in Jindabyne? And then on the other hand, they've got some harebrained ideas. Some of them are good, some of them are not. And people go, oh, do it, Chase. I'll come and get involved. And then I get it, and then I go, okay, cool. Are you going to book it? Like, oh, yeah, one day I'll do it. It's like, I need you now. I need to feed my kids and get more of these so that anyway.
Pay the insurance bill.
So please come and have a go. I guarantee you will love it.
Well done, Chase.
Thanks to all our speakers. I think we had a great diversity of speakers and topics. Now the benefit that you're going to get out of tonight is only going to be fully realised if you talk to somebody you don't know. If you go back into your little 50 groups, you'll have a nice beer, you'll enjoy yourself, but we will not have achieved what we're trying to achieve, and that is to network in. So please, talk to somebody you haven't met, come and speak to one of our speakers and you tell them how good they were, or buy a ticket from Jason.
Can I just mention something, one more thing? I know this is really
Yes, you
boring,
can.
but Australia Cleanup Day is coming, and I would love you all to be involved. I'm organising a big cleanup day. I don't know if you know me. I'm the
Just to give you a little bit of figures I've picked up so far, with 2 cleanup days so far, 2,408 kilos, just to be exact, since last April, since lockdown. And I would love to see Jindabyne clean, not only for the tourists, just for us as well. And I run every week, twice a week, 6 Ks into town, from Barry Way. You know, since June I started running, because I want to get fit, but not once have made it into town without being that rubbish. Every time, at least the shopping bag is full. Every week, twice a week. And I have to really train myself to stay positive, it's okay, those people don't know better. But it's not only the wind, it's lots of bottles and cans that get thrown out the window. So Australia Cleanup Days on the 7th of March. If you can't come on that day, it's okay. I hand out bags a day before at the markets. Come and buy lots of local stuff. I'm going to be there too and hand out bags. If you can fill one bag, not with your rubbish from your home, go choose maybe a little picnic area or somewhere that you can just fill a little bag. It's really awesome. That would be so awesome. Thank you guys.
Good on you.
Thank you.
These evenings are really helped out by Ridges sponsoring the room and allowing us to have some alcoholic beverages there. Please make a donation to that, help us out a little bit. If you've got a drink, put some notes in there, not so much coins, and on your way out, say thank you to Ridges for hosting us tonight. We're back here again on the 4th Thursday in March. I've got no idea what date that is, but we're going to be here anyway. Please, you're all invited to come back, but more importantly, bring somebody else who you believe can get benefit by meeting such a great bunch of people. Thank you very much, everybody. See you in March.